So it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm here in Arizona in the USA.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so before we start our conversation and our discussion, I would like to briefly explain a little bit to the Afghan people that what is today's conversation about, what are we going to discuss. دوستای
Okay.
عزیز و ارجمند افغانای نهایت ارجمند امیدوار هستم جور و صحتمند باشین امروز یک صحبت با آقای درو بنسکی که یکی از چهره های سرشناس هستند. اینا البته در یوتیوب بلاگر و ولاگر هستند و تقریبا تمام جهان اینا سفر کردن و به اصطلاح در سراسر دنیا اینا علاقمندای خود دارن و در سراسر دنیا بیننده های خود دارن و یک گینیس رکورد دارن اینا که ورلد رکورد میشه و واقعا کسی هستن که به اصطلاح میلیون ها سابسکرایبر در یوتیوب خود دارن و بسیار مردم اینا رو برنامهشون تماشا میکنن. امروز اینا نظر به همدردی که برای افغانستان دارن و اوضاع و حالتی که فعلا در افغانستان است خواستن که با ما صحبت‌های داشته باشن و من همچنان امی موقعیت مد نظر گرفته دوست دارم که از این طریق بتونم صدای مردم افغانستان به گوش جهانیان برسانم و درد و رنج مردم افغانستان به گوش جهانیان برسانم. امیدوار هستم که من بتونم از قلب شما صحبت بکنم. Okay, thank you so much. I hope it
My
was brief.
pleasure. I hope you said some nice things.
Yeah, of course, of course. I said about what you're doing. I know you. Everyone is familiar with your face, but a little bit more that today you want to talk about Afghanistan, and I think you have traveled to Afghanistan many times. So let's start with that. How many times you have been in Afghanistan, and how did you find Afghanistan?
Afghanistan is one of my favorite countries in the world. You can see I'm in my office now, and I actually have a flag
Yeah,
right there, a
flag.
separate
Yeah.
flag on the wall. I've been twice. I went first in 2018. I went for 1 week then, and then last year in October 2020, I went for 3 weeks. So I've spent about a month in the country, and I visited 7 provinces, and it's really like when I think about Afghanistan, I just get really happy because it's just an amazing place, and I've made about 17 videos on YouTube and Facebook from my experiences in Afghanistan, meeting the people, eating the food, visiting all the different ancient sites, and the beautiful wonders of the country. And so it's a place that means a lot to me, and that's kind of why I wanted to speak with you because you're from there, and just wanted to share some of our feelings about Afghanistan, and yeah, that's kind of my thoughts.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You said you like the food in Afghanistan. Do you know any special food that you like in Afghanistan?
Yeah, I love bolani because it's so easy to make and you can eat it on the street anywhere.
It's
I
like
love
fast.
it's like fast food, yeah, and it's so cheap. It's like 20 cents in the US. I mean, for like a delicious bolani. I like the pomegranate juice. It's so fresh. In Kandahar, I had the fresh pomegranates. I like is it called mantu?
Mantu, yes.
Yeah.
Ashak is the other one.
Yes,
So
that's like
one
the
has
dumpling.
mantu, the other one has vegetable. It has
Right.
chives in.
Yes, of course. And then the kebabs are incredible. I like how they serve them on this like really sharp spear, like where
Yeah.
you can like stab someone, and then you put the sumac on it and the different spices, and they put it in the bread. They always have the Afghan khabus. I don't know how to say like the bread. It's always
Yeah.
like the circle bread. So good.
It
You
is
know?
just naan. They call it naan.
Oh, there's none. I think khabus is an Arabic word for bread,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, it's just a naan.
So you have very
Um,
good memories from Afghanistan. Mr. Binsky, if you get a chance and if somebody invite you in Afghanistan at this situation, are you ready to go there? Can you trust Taliban to go
that's a very
right
That's a
now?
very tough that's a very tough question. It's very difficult to answer. Do I want to go? Yes, I would love to go. I would love to experience. I am a bit worried about safety. I feel like if I go there, then I become a target for Taliban, and maybe they will kidnap me or they will kill me. So it's difficult. I hope that I will be able to visit in the next couple years. But this situation is really, really terrible, and I'm very, very worried for my Afghan friends. Um, One of my friends, he was able to leave. He's now in Australia. Yesterday, he got on the plane, so I'm very happy. But I don't know. Do you feel comfortable going there? Would you go there now?
Actually, I'm a singer, so it'll be very hard to go there right now, to be there right now, because according to Taliban rules and regulations, women are not allowed to sing, women are not allowed to go to education, women are not allowed to have
Terrible.
freedom of speech, nothing, employment, nothing. So it will be a dangerous place for me right now.
Yeah.
And I really, feel, I don't know how to explain. We are all concerned, all Afghans around the world, whether inside Afghanistan or outside Afghanistan, everybody is concerned. Everybody is uncertain. Everybody is under
Yeah.
frustration.
Yeah.
There's a confusion. We don't know what would be
Yeah.
the future of Afghanistan, who would be the government in Afghanistan? Like we know right now the Taliban has seized Afghanistan, but who are Taliban? We don't know them.
Exactly. Exactly.
There is
Did you go?
uncertainty.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said there is uncertainty. Um, the re-emergence of Taliban came as a shock to everyone, for everyone in Afghanistan. We Afghans did not think at all that, you know, after more than 20 years of democracy, suddenly Taliban conquered Afghanistan. Taliban seized Afghanistan, and we don't have that democracy, that freedom of speech anymore, and everything changed. So it is really hard. We are still shocked. I can't believe that this happened in Afghanistan. Nowadays, if you see Taliban talking to the Western media, you will see them, saying that they will they will set up an inclusive government, inclusive of all nation of Afghanistan. But I don't know how is that possible, since everybody feared them. It is really
They're
hard
just
to
saying
trust them.
they're saying that because they're in the international spotlight. They have Al Jazeera, they have all these media looking at them, and so they want to look very nice and they have like, dress nice and speak nice, but we know, I know that they are not like that and they're going to be
That's not the reality. The
yeah,
Taliban nowadays, they're showing a different face. They're showing a
right,
nice face to people.
right.
They are different than what people associate to them in the past, um, but still it is hard to judge. It is hard to
Yeah,
judge. They are saying they have changed, but they need to prove that. They need to
yeah.
prove that. Right now women doesn't have any right in Afghanistan. I heard that, I don't know the name, I forgot the name, Mujahid or something like that, his name. He just
Mhm.
recently said that women are not allowed to come out or go to work. So it's again the
That's
same rule
crazy.
and regulations that it was in the past. They have
That's
not
so
changed.
so how will the Taliban get support from the Afghan people, or never they will?
I don't think so that Afghan people will support Taliban,
Hmm.
because I don't believe they're Afghan.
Hmm.
I'm not sure that they're Afghan.
They're
They are saying that they are Afghan. They will, the future government will be an inclusive government of the entire nation.
yeah.
But who knows that? We are still waiting. We haven't
It's
seen
it's
any change in them.
it's really sad. It's because I've been there and I've spoke with people and I've understand the situation a little bit. It's just hurts me so much because Afghan are just the purest, most friendly and hospitable people in the world. And the fact that they have to deal with this is just so terrible. I have a question for you.
Sure.
So where are you from in Afghanistan?
I usually say that I'm from Afghanistan. It doesn't matter which province, but there's a beautiful province called Laghman. But I was born inside Kabul, inside capital. So
You're
yeah,
born in Kabul. Cool.
yeah.
I like what you said, by the way, that you from Afghanistan, not one place. Um, you grew up being a singer, right? So how did you express that in Afghanistan, if you cannot?
To be honest, for me, at the beginning, it was so hard because I had to, convince my family at the beginning, because my father, my mother, my brothers, they didn't know, even my family, my aunties, my uncles. It was so hard for me to convince them that I'm going to sing. But finally,
Wow.
I made it. I had to convince my family. Finally, I did that. But I was not expecting this, that after this much, effort, this much hard work that Afghan people did within these, almost 20 years in Afghanistan, suddenly they surrendered Afghanistan to Taliban. Um, Unfortunately, UN, human rights organizations, USA, they have surrendered Afghanistan to Taliban. I believe that. And they have turned their backs to Afghan people.
Mm.
Right now, it is very important that the world should know that Afghanistan need their support to determine its fate.
Right.
We need serious attention and quick attention of the world. Otherwise, everything will be, gone. Everything will be finished.
I think it's good that there's been so much awareness. All of the internet, all of the news has been talking about Afghanistan, which is good because for so many years nobody talked about Afghanistan. But now, because they're in really desperate need of help. I mean, Afghanistan people, they need money, they need resources, they need food, they need shelter, they need visas, they need passports. So now, because it's so urgent, I feel like now the world is knowing, because last time the Taliban took control was 20 years ago. There was no social media 20 years ago. So nobody was understanding of what was going on. So now I
Yeah.
feel like it's a good thing that we have social media. Thank you. It's it's a good thing that we have social media, that we can find out and we can hear stories from these people, and they can watch my videos and they can hear this interview that we're having now. Um, Sorry, this is my dog. He wants to
Oh,
say
wow.
hi.
It is
um,
beautiful.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, so I have a little bit more question for you. So like when you were growing up in Afghanistan, were you able to perform out in public, or you're not able to perform?
No, I have a very interesting story about that. When I start singing, I was inside Afghanistan, traveling between Afghanistan and Pakistan because we had migrated to Pakistan. It was, I think, when Karzai was the president on that time. So I
Okay.
started singing, but I didn't show my face. From
Oh, you're
2000,
wearing a you're
no, no,
wearing
no.
a
It was only my voice. It was only my voice. I didn't make
oh,
any video clip. It was only on radio. But I
really?
was already famous. I was already
Okay,
famous.
how does that make you feel that you have this beautiful voice, but nobody can connect with your face? How does that make you feel?
Um, you know, at the beginning, it was very exciting because I could see what the people thinking about me, about my talent. When I'm singing, when I was seeing people hearing my songs, and then they were commenting, and they were saying, oh, this, she's singing so nice, I wish she come in
Right.
front of camera. This was really interesting for me. But when I came to Canada, on that time, I find the need to show my face,
Of
to
course.
tell people that it is me. This is the person behind this voice. But yes, I finally made it. But I'm sure there are so many women inside Afghanistan right now that they are talented. They
Of course.
they want to be famous. They want to be singer. They want to be actor. They want to be, educated, but they can't do that. They don't have that opportunity. We need the
Well,
world. We
this
need
is
the world to support them.
this is the biggest this is the biggest human rights issue that I've ever seen in my lifetime, and I'm 30 years old. I mean, this is just very, very sad. I can't believe that women don't have any freedoms. They can't even walk outside their front door right now because they're worried about the Taliban that's going to kill them. It's so sad. Are you speaking to your family and friends that are in Afghanistan? What are they saying right now?
Actually, I have some friends in Afghanistan right now. Some colleagues that they were working in the television
Mm,
um, in Afghanistan. They're talking to me. They're so desperate. They're so desperate to leave.
yeah,
Even at the airport in Kabul, there are so many, Afghans at risk that, they're waiting to get evacuated.
Yeah.
So most of them will not get the chance because they don't have the proper documentation, they don't have visa, they don't have passport, but they desperately want to leave. This is the
I'm
problem.
getting
Yeah.
I'm getting hundreds of emails every day from Afghans like, please help me. I can't go outside. I'm scared. We don't have any food. I'm just like, it's really, really tough. It's been draining me emotionally, mentally, and physically the last few weeks. And I've been sharing links to donate, and we've raised lots of money, but I don't, even if you raise money, I mean, still these people, money is only one thing, but safety is another thing, you know, like how are they going to be safe to go to the market to buy food?
Yeah. You know, America and other countries, they can, take some Afghans, to their country. But what
True.
about the rest of Afghans that they're inside Afghanistan and they
That's
want to
unfair.
education, they want to have freedom of speech,
Yeah.
they want to have employment, they want to, have a normal life like other people
Yeah.
around the world, Women, especially in Afghanistan, they're very vulnerable. Women and girls in Afghanistan, like other women and girls around the world, they have the right to all these, things which are, so common for other people.
Right.
Education, freedom of speech,
Or
freedom to
driving.
choose. They don't have that freedom anymore.
You know, Afghanistan has like 37 million people, so we're talking about a lot of people. This is not like a small country. You know, it's not like Luxembourg or Armenia or Georgia, where it's just a tiny country. Afghanistan is huge and there's 37 million people. So this is just a massive issue, and I'm trying to find any kind of positivity, and maybe you can help me, and maybe there's no positivity. But in 5 years from now, what needs to happen for Afghanistan to become safe and secure for women and for everyone? So does the Taliban need to be defeated? Does the Taliban need to agree to have women rights? Does there need to be another war, which would be just terrible because the US has been there for 20 years and Afghanistan has been at war for like 50 years without stopping. What needs to happen, in your opinion, for Afghanistan to become safe like it was 50 years ago?
It is so hard, to talk about politics and, to talk about these things, that what needs to be done to
Right.
secure people, to save Afghan people. But I believe if the world put pressure on Taliban, put pressure on them to not ignore these rights for women and for human, that is really important, and I think that will work. The only thing that world can do at the moment is, I believe, is that they should not recognize or they should not accept Taliban officially until they commit to equal right for women and
Yeah.
men inside Afghanistan, until they don't commit to, give security for people, guarantee for people that they have changed. They need to prove that they have
Yeah.
changed. Nowadays we are seeing that they're beating people again on the street. They're not letting people to go to school. Girls are again inside their home. They're not allowed to go out. So we don't see any change.
I agree. I think the world needs to put more pressure on the Taliban. Unfortunately, countries like China are um, they're accepting Taliban as a form of government, and China is the second biggest country in the world and one of the biggest world powers. But I think we need more pressure from the US, from Germany, from the UK, from Turkey, from all the neighboring countries. Yeah, the world needs to come together, and if it's everybody against one, I think everybody will win. But if it's one with 10 allies like China and Russia and whoever, then it becomes a lot more challenging. So I think you're right of what you're saying. We need to spread more awareness and get more people and governments involved, and so they can put pressure on the Taliban. That's the only thing that I can see because nobody wants war. I mean, the other option is war, right?
And unfortunately, right now, UN, USA, and its allies, they left Afghanistan alone. They left Afghanistan in a chaos.
Yeah.
They know what happened there. They know what's going to
Of
happen in
course.
Afghanistan, but they
You know,
left it.
when I was there in October 2020, which is 10 months ago, my Afghan friends told me, they were like, we need the US to be here because if the US leaves and when the US leaves, the Taliban's going to take over. They told me that 10 months ago, and it happened like this. Everybody's like, oh, I didn't expect the Taliban to take over this quick. All my friends expected it to happen. Maybe not in 2 days, maybe within a month, but it doesn't matter how long it takes. They know that the Taliban is going to take over. And so it's just, it's such
And
a,
it's strange, that, as you said, some of my friends, some of my family members, they knew that this will happen, before Taliban seized, Kabul or Afghanistan. They knew that. How is that possible? That's
so,
really interesting. That's really interesting.
I know.
But yes, we need the world to pay more attention, a quick and serious attention
Yes.
when it comes to Afghanistan, because at the moment, right, Afghanistan is in a crisis, and we need the world's attention, and we need the world's support to determine our fate.
Absolutely. And thank you for saying that. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to speak with you, just to share our opinions and get the word out, because I think both of us can use our platforms to continue spreading the message. I'm assuming most of your audience, most of your followers are Afghans. Is it correct?
I fortunately, have audience from different countries, from Tajikistan, because they speak the same
Sorry,
language,
speak
like
fast.
Dari or Tajiki or Persian, and also some of my friends there from Pakistan, because they again share the same language, like Pashto, because I also speak in Pashto too.
How many languages do
So
you
from
speak?
Iran, I'm really lucky that and blessed. I must say that I have fans and followers from these countries too.
That's so cool. That's good because you need to not only spread the message to Afghans, because Afghans are the ones that are in trouble. We need to spread the message to other countries.
Yeah.
How many?
Right now, I'm using your platform to, raise my voice for my Afghan people, and to make their voices heard by the world, that they really need help and support right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
of course, thank you as well. It's always great to connect, and I hope to meet you when I come to Istanbul. Are you living there full time now, or are you traveling, or what's the plan?
No, actually, sometime I'm in Istanbul, and sometime I'm going to Toronto, because my parents are in Toronto. But I'm here mostly because it is easy for me to work. It is somehow is a place in the middle. I can travel everywhere, so that's why I choose it. And I like the food and the weather in Istanbul, and also I like Toronto as well.
It's a good base to have. Istanbul is right in the middle of the world. I completely agree. When you go to Toronto next, let me know because I need to go there anyways to make some video, and I would love to
For
meet you.
sure, for
And
sure.
we can eat some Afghan food, hopefully.
Inshallah. So I
Inshallah.
just want to ask you one more
Of
question.
course, go ahead.
When you traveled to Afghanistan, did you learn Dari or Pashto as well? A
Uh,
little.
when I was traveling there, I learned a bit. There's obviously like the salam alaikum and the teshakur, teshakur. And I know that when I speak to like a male, you could say teshakur lalajan.
Ah, Lala Jan. Lala
Lal-
Jan is basically like a
my,
brother.
my
Like
brother.
my
Yeah.
brother, Lala Jan.
Teshakur
Yes. You
lalajan.
usually use it for male, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So when I go to the restaurant, you can say like teshakur lalajan. And when I say that, they get so excited. They're so happy because obviously I'm not Afghan. Although I must say, a lot of people think that I'm Afghan when I go there. I
Oh
think
yeah, you look like Afghan. I
they
must
tell
say
me
that.
my red hair because there are some Afghans with red hair and my face. They think that I'm. A lot of times they speak to me in Dari or in Pashto, and I'm like, I don't understand. I'm sorry. uh, no, but I love speaking about Afghanistan, and thank you for your time. I hope the whole
Yeah,
world can.
actually, thank you for having me. It feels really good that you see the people, the great people like you, that they have good feeling about Afghanistan. Right now, we are in a very bad situation. It is hard, but the world, uh, how should I say, the history will not forget what the world will do right now for Afghanistan. You know, I know after some years the situation will change in Afghanistan,
Mm.
but this is a very important time. The world is watching silently, I know that, but we need more attention and we need more support.
Very well said. Thank you so much. You're very sweet,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to meeting you soon, and we can make a video together when we're in person.
Inshallah. When you come to Istanbul, you can call me, and also whenever you plan to come to Toronto, we are there for you.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.